rubber balloons! Get your lovely rubber balloons! Rubber balloons! Get your lovely rubber balloons!
Oh, my God!
Oh, my goodness. What's the matter? Rubber hands.
Rubber face! Rubber face!
Rubber balloons!
It's the Benny Hill Show. And here is Benny Hill.
There are 9 carats to remind me of the ring I bought for you. Some mint for all the lovely things we meant to do. A lettuce, 'cause your mum and dad would not let us alone. I won't put in the truffles, you've got truffles of your own. An artichoke for the hearty jokes your father used to tell. And as he was a Welshman, we'll have a leek as well. And your cousin, the religious one, so sanctimonious. For him some loaves and fishes, 'cause that's all he ever does. And there's a heartache and a memory and just a tear or two in a broken-hearted lover's stew. There is a Swede for the Scandinavian man you left for me. An egg, 'cause you used to egg me on incessantly. And your little baby brother, what a messy little kid. For him some wine and water, 'cause that's all he ever did. Oh, I was fond of olives, and you liked herbs, I know. I gave up seeing Olive, but Herb didn't want to go. So for the man who won you, there is one thing I must do. Put in some sage and onions, 'cause he wants stuffing too. There's a heartache and a memory and just a tear or two in a broken-hearted lover's stew. And now for some more examples of that look number 7. You know, that look that you get when something totally unexpected happens.
Your mistress tells me you're too sick to do the housework. Is that right?
Oh, no, Doctor, I'm no sick. But she owes me 45 shillings in back wages. I'm no moving from this bed till I get my 45 shillings.
She owes me £8.10. Move over.
No, I'm wearing black for my poor departed husband.
Oh. How long's he been gone?
10 minutes. He went back to one.
No, my dear, you haven't got Asian flu. You've got Egyptian flu. You're going to be a mummy. What do you want?
I was wondering, Mr. Beckenheimer, if there's a part of me in your new show.
I don't know. Show us your legs.
Gladys, I can't chat to you now. It's my wedding night. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Oh, I do wish my husband wouldn't leave his slippers lying around.
Well, this is the time of year when we're all booking up for our summer holidays. So, I thought that I would come along and see... I thought I'd come and see the cut-price holiday king himself. Yes, you've guessed it. Fred Scuttle.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, viewers. Happy holidays.
Good evening, Mr. Scuttle. Now, Mr. Scuttle, if I was to come to you and say that I had a month's holiday...
Yes, sir.
...and only £7 to spend, could you tell me where to go?
Yes, sir, I could, but I would not be so rude, sir.
Oh.
Instead, I would advise you to take our 28 days of sea on sun on the French Riviera, sir.
The French Riviera?
On the Riviera, yes.
But I've only got £7, remember?
I understand, sir. You work for Thames Television, don't you?
That's right.
Yes. We get a lot of them in here, you know.
Mr. Scuttle, you know, it's amazing how you manage to keep your prices so low.
Yes.
How do you do it?
By keeping our overheads down and our undercarriage up, sir.
Oh, I would fly, would I?
We have our own aeroplane, sir.
Do you really?
Yeah, outside, sir. Yes, it's a good one.
Yes.
It's an ex-Air Force plane, sir.
Oh, it was used during the war.
Yes, but as soon as the war was over, I got it and they all worked on it, sir.
You
yes.
got in there before anyone else?
Oh, within 2 days of the Kaiser signing the armistice, I had it.
Oh, it's a First World War plane, a biplane.
At the moment, yes, sir. If we get a stiff breeze during the night, it'll be a monoplane in the morning.
Yes, indeed. Now, tell me, Mr. Scuttle, what kind of people go on these tours of yours?
Adventurous types, I would say, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. You know, I mean, 1 second, sir, I mean, they're on the ground, sir, and then they hear the cry, contract, turn her over, fags out.
Chocks away.
No, they don't mind the sweet, sir. Some of the fags. And then they're up in the air with the wind whistling round their fuselage, sir, bobbing about like a puff of wind in a colander there. Adventurous.
And where do you land?
I aim the plane at a place called Poker, sir.
Poker?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once or twice we've actually landed there, sir.
At the airport?
Not necessarily, sir. Usually we land on the municipal tennis court, sir.
The tennis
Yes.
court? How do you land in such a short space?
They leave the net up.
Yes. Mr. Scuttle.
Yes.
Do you run this holiday business of yours entirely on your own?
No, sir. I have Miss Goose Ends. Yes, I do, sir.
She is your secretary?
Well, you might say. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Like as well.
Like as well as what?
As well as being our air hostess, you see.
Oh, she straps them in.
There's no need to do that, sir. They're not allowed to attack us, sir. Not at her age.
Now, what amenities are
Yes.
there for the holiday makers when they arrive?
Well, there's everything, sir. There's fishing or tennis.
Fishing and tennis?
No, fishing or tennis, sir. We use the same net, you see. Then, of course, there's Monsieur Alphonse, always on hand, sir. He looks after them, sir, runs the excursion coach, everything he does.
How old is he?
He's 97, sir. He looks after them, sir.
He gets the gratuities.
In the cold weather, yes, he does. And he takes them around in the coach. They take him to Montélimar, sir.
Oh, yeah.
They stop at Madame Paulette's there.
For a bit of nougat.
No, it's only a cafe, sir. As far as I know, sir.
No, you misunderstood me, Mr.
what's that,
Scuttle.
sir?
I mean, they go there to sample the local sweetmeats.
What they do when they're off the coach is no concern. It doesn't come under my jurisprudence, anything whatsoever. Don't know, sir. No, they have what is known as the gâteau de jour, sir.
And what is that?
Whatever happens to be on the pastry shelf at the time, sir.
Mr. Scuttle, which would you say is your best bargain in holiday tours?
I would say, sir, our Eastern Promise tour, sir.
Eastern Promise.
Yes, sir. I have discovered that by utilising the services of a fleet of ex-army surplus Dutch bull barges...
Yes.
third-class night economy Trans-Siberian cattle trucks... and a fleet of swift-moving, love-starved Bessarabian dromedaries... I can get a passenger into Outer Mongolia for £4.10, sir. How about that?
And do they enjoy it?
I don't know, sir. We've never had one come back, sir. I suppose they must enjoy it. You fancy a trip? You're looking a bit peaky. You look like you
Harriet. You know, the other day, my old grandpappy Blooper, he was a-milking this year cow, you know, pulling laying things down like that. And this year, city slicker come up to him, and he said, "Hey, old-timer, can you tell me the time?" So he stopped the pulling, and he started to lift him. And he said, "I'll tell you the time." He said, "I'll tell you, it's about 5 after 4. So he said, "Now, how can you tell that it's 5 after 4 just by lifting them things of hers?" He says, "Well, if I lift them high enough, I can see the clock across the road." I'll tell you nothing. And this old cow of grandpappy, she up and died one day, you know, and he went to the veterinary, and he said, "How come that old cow of mine died?" And he said, "Well, grandpappy, I reckon she just pined away." He said, "Now, how could a cow pine away?" He said, "Well, look," he said, "you've been pulling them things of hers for nigh on 2 years. Did you ever once ever think to tell her you loved her?" Old Grandpappy Blooper, he give me a book for Christmas. Wasn't like ordinary book, it was a cyclopedia. That's like different, you know, that's full of learning. Ooh, that's full of learning, that's full of things like tells you about the ancient Greeks, because there's like mythical, you know, like men there wasn't all there. There's a whole lot of them. There was Zeus and Andy Rockles, and old Diogenes. And there was one giant, and he only had one eye right in the middle of his head. He was called Cyclecleps. Then there was Pythagoras. Now, Pythagoras had a theorem, and it hurt. And he invented arithmetic and algebra and trigonometry because he hated children. And he just couldn't bear them. And little Dickie Dido friend. Ooh, eat that little Dickie Dido. So if you folks ain't listening, you ain't gonna get little Dickie Didos, because I come out all the time and they little Dickie Didos there. And old Pythagoras, he's in the bath one day when he discovered something. And I forget what it was. Well, it's just a little thing. And he get out the bath and he running down the road and there's some workmen sitting by the side of the road. They was like eating onion soup and garlic sausage and stuff like that. And he went up and he said, "Eureka! Eureka!" And they said, "You don't smell so darn good yourself." And he said, "No, Eureka, I have it. I have it." And they told him what to do with it. And then it tells you in the encyclopedia about the Chinese. You know, there's so many people living in China today, and the population of China is increasing so fast that if all the people who's living in China today was to start marching 4 abreast, that's 8 deep. Past this here building, by the time they got to the end of the column, there would be another generation marching behind them. Now, what I want to know is, if they marching, ooh, there'd be some little Dickie Didos there, wouldn't there? Wouldn't there be some little Dickie Didos? Right now, I'm going to sing at you. I got people from Dells here to join in.
Why do they call her evil when she's always so kind and so good?
My heart belongs to Rachel, the gypsy in the wood. Oh, let us play at hide and seek. One day she gaily cried. Oh, close your eyes and count to 50 while I go and hide. And if you find me, I will let you have your way with me. And if you cannot find me, I'll be right behind that tree.
Why do they call her evil when she's also kind and so good?
My heart belongs to Rachel, the gypsy of the wood. She said, now if a snake should bite you, don't you worry, scream or shout. Just send for me and I'll be there and I'll suck the poison out. I said, suppose I sit on one and it gets me in the end. She said, that's when you'll find out that I'm a real true friend.
Why do they call her evil when she's also kind and so good?
My heart belongs to Rachel, the gypsy in the wood. Oh, Rachel, I seen you with your lover down by the cabbage patch. His hair was long and black, and he had fingernails to match. Oh, you promised you would be faithful, but you treated and you were untrue. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it all over you. Now I know why they call you evil. You're wicked and you're no good. No more will I see Rachel, the gypsy.
There now, what bloody good's that done you?
Thames VTR 3455 Part 2 Take 1.